I am Daniel Hahn, Chief Influential Listener with Impact SAC and founder of A Way Forward. Enjoy this history moment, because only by knowing how we got here can we make tomorrow better for all. During the time of slavery in the 1600s, 1700s, and 1800s, the color of black skin defined who you were, and by the 18th century, black skin had become not only evidence of slavery, but also a badge of degradation. The caricatures of Coons, and Sambos, and Uncle Toms were born during American slavery. Slave masters and overseers often described slaves as slow, lazy, and trifling, among other terms. The caricature of a mammy described as an ever-faithful slave woman who cooked, supervised other house slaves, watched children, and other tasks, obedient and subservient to the master. An Uncle Tom submissively and contentedly serving the massa. Long after slavery came to an end, with the end of the Civil War and the Emancipation Proclamation, these caricatures and stereotypes were still promoted and reinforced throughout our country, not just in the South. One of the ways that this was done was through movies, such as Gone with the Wind, a 1939 movie adapted from a novel. Hattie McDaniel played the mammy in the movie, a character that reinforced the notion that slavery was benevolent and slaves were content and happy. Gone with the Wind was one of the highest earning films in American history, and it glamorized the Southern plantation house and the ordered hierarchy society in which slaves were family and that they had a mythical bond with their slave owners. Often, we think of these stereotypes and caricatures were only promoted and reinforced in the South, but that simply isn't true. The Coon Chicken Inn opened in Seattle and Portland during the Great Depression and thrived as a restaurant. It was founded by Maxon Graham and his wife, originally from Salt Lake City. The first Coon Chicken Inn opened in Salt Lake City in 1925 and didn't close until the end of the 1950s. They opened a Coon Chicken Inn in Seattle in 1929, and it closed in 1949. They opened a restaurant in Portland in 1930, and it too closed in 1949. Some of the restaurants had a nightclub next door called the Cotton Club. The restaurant entrance consisted of a 12-foot-tall, grinning, stereotypical black man's head wearing a porter's uniform and the stereotypical caricature of a coon. And the front door went right through the teeth of this image at the front door. A black man with coal skin, huge red lips, oversized teeth, and a porter cap appeared on menus, placemats, plates, cups, bowls, toothpick holders, matchbox, postcards, and delivery cars. The newspapers, such as the Seattle Times, ran numerous ads for this new restaurants. Diners options were called Southern Fried Coon Chicken, Baby Coon Special, Coon Fried Steak. It was one of the first restaurants to have a drive-through and a delivery service and was extremely popular. The NAACP and the Northwestern Enterprise, an African-American newspaper in Seattle, sued the restaurant owners for libel and defamation as soon as they opened their Seattle restaurant. The lawsuit was settled when they agreed to remove the word coon from the delivery cars. See, the delivery cars were called the Coon cars. The other settlement was to change the giant head color at the entrance of the restaurant from the black color that it used to be to blue, and cancel the order of 1,000 spare tire covers with the Coon Chicken Inn logo on them. Around the same time in Seattle, the NAACP also sued a Seattle packaging plant called Fresh Products, Inc. They had a peanut product that was called the Three Little N-Words, and it had a picture of 3 black children standing in a peanut shell. All 3 restaurant locations closed by the 1950s after continuing the racial stereotypes that were created to support the institution of slavery well over 100 years earlier. This is a story of how the systemic nature of discrimination, racism, and bias played a significant role in California and other states and cities throughout our country. It is also a story of how people from different backgrounds, experiences, have come together to change not only one person's circumstances, but the circumstances of their community, their city, their state, and their country. Thank you for listening, and let's all make tomorrow better for everyone.